Hello, welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be working on some green screen composition, and the software we are going to be using, it's Adobe After Effects CC 2017. Let's start. We're going to launch in our green screen footage, but let's choose this one here. This one will just do us just fine. Okay, let's pick a point where we want us to. Let's pick from there up to like here. Okay, let's move it in. Let's use pen tool to cut out or to make a garbage mask. Then from there, let's make sure we add neat video. Neat video will remove some noise that come with the footage from the camera. So we have to clean up some noise so that it doesn't go in our comp final video. So with neat video, we only need to slide this one to 100%, the Y. Reason being, if we touch these ones, it will look so plastic. So we need to only use the Y. Then press apply. Then the noise is all done. So we need to get our background. That's just fine. Get this one, luxurious modern. Now we double click so that we choose a point of, do we need a dolly, do we need a panning, do we need, yeah, let's use this one. Let's use pan, drive out, dolly out. That one will do us just fine. Okay, we have to put it in a different composition. Remember, we first worked on our footage, preparing it for the composition. Then in here, all we need to do is to do a camera tracker, track camera. Depending on your RAM and graphics card, maybe a processor also. That's how fast enough it will be. So my computer is i7 7th generation, using a 4.5 gigahertz processor and 20 GB RAM, meaning it will be kind of fast enough. So the track is already done. We are going to pick a point where we want to anchor our green screen footage. So let me pick here. This is where I want my green screen to be. It's kind of tilted. Let me pick here. Yeah, this one will work fine. Now here, you right click. Before you create null and camera, we are going in for set ground plane and origin. If you're using Adobe After Effects CS6, this option won't be there. That's the reason as to why I told you we are going to use Adobe After Effects CC. You set ground plane and origin. Then after there, you come and click on create null and camera. You can also use create solid and camera, but that will have some issues. So if you use create null and camera, you'll be safe. Okay, now here is my null. It's called track null 1. My camera is already set up. when I pressed OK. When you create null and camera, it creates the camera and the null. So this is the null, and this is the coordinate where we want to anchor our green screen footage. So our green screen footage was already set. So let's try and put it in. Let's put it above the camera and the background. It's here. So as you see, it looks way big. Reason being, we have not yet anchored it to our points. So we go to After Effects CC above this column here. Then we choose this panel. It is called Point Anchor. We click on it. Then it will help us move this anchor. So when it's here, we make our footage 3D by clicking 3D button here. So our footage is 3D. And when it's 3D, that's why it is being affected by the camera. That's why it makes it a little bit smaller and tilted. So after there, we go to our track null. We press P on the keyboard. Then we copy the position of the track null, and we paste it onto the position of the green screen footage. Paste. Then you see that our footage moves from the point where it has been and to point of our track null. So we go into transformation of our green screen footage. Then we go on to Y rotation to rotate it correctly, facing the camera. Then we go to scale and scale it up like there. There it looks fine. Now if I press play, you will see that it is moving with the camera. That's all what we wanted. We wanted to composite it to move with the camera. Now it is moving with the camera, meaning our setup is all done for, now our video is moving well with the camera. And if you take a close look at the legs, they are not sliding with the flow, meaning our composition is now okay. Okay, that was part one, trying to composite our green screen footage onto the background. But as you can see, it is kind of tilted a little. We need to rotate it just slightly. We go on to Z-axis and we tilt it slightly to match with the flow. Now there it looks okay, matching with the flow. Okay, that was part one. Now with part two, we need to composite the green screen to match or removing green screen. Okay, now let's remove our green screen. Removing our green screen, what we are going to first do, we are going to first duplicate our green screen footage. Then the downer part of it, we are going to close it so that we only work with the upper one. So with the upper one, we are going to apply, let's apply key light onto it. Then we are going to key light our green screen. But as you can see, our green screen looks way not lit evenly, meaning there are some brighter spots and some darker spots. If we are trying to chroma key our footage, the best way to do it is to get you need to get you get point from the brighter side, meaning if you get it from the dark side, it will leave the brighter side unchromated. As you can see here, it looks way bright. But then if you take your sample from a brighter side, meaning it will take away even the dark green screen which was lit unevenly. So here we go to combined matte, as you can see, and make sure we crank our screen matte clip black to make it black. As you can see, it has been not all that black, but now as we crank it up, it turns black. And as you can see, also white, some points are gray instead of being pure white, so we also need to crank it and make sure it's all white. So we go to clip white and clip it, and it's now white, as you can see. So now setting up, now here our view is on combined matte. Now others will put on final result, but final result leaves some noise in our footage because it is kinda overkill. So the best way to do this is to, okay, let's first try it out. Yeah, now as you see, but it has noise in the shadows. So to eliminate all this noise from the shadows, we should not put our view on final result. Let's put it on intermediate result. But then when we put it on intermediate result, it does away with the noise which was in the dark levels. But then it leaves us with a green spill, the green spill all over our edge, as you can see. So doing away with this green spill, we go to color, we go to keying, then put advanced spill suppressor. Now advanced spill suppressor, you'll only find it in Adobe After Effects CC 17 and above, meaning if you are using After Effects CS6, that option won't be there. But then there are some plugins in there that can help you do the same stuff. So here our green spill is already done. So we need to deal with this edge noise, and we need to clean our edge. So we'll go to keying, then key cleaner. Key cleaner also is in After Effects CC. Now if you put key cleaner, you see how our edges are now cleaned, but then they are kind of blurred with the background, meaning our footage is not well separated from the background. So how do we do that? We go to key again. No, we go to matte, then go to simple choker. Then with this choker, you don't need to put in higher values, as in choking it like this, because you'll be shrinking and eating up most of the edge. We just need to put in just like 0.5 or 0.7, just to clean up that edge. As you can see, now footage is already cleaned up. Now we need to put in the contact shadow. The contact shadow, as in you can see where he's stepping in the floor. Now normally to make a realistic composition like this, you need to show that there is a contact between the green screen footage with the background. Now here on the floor, as he's stepping on the floor, we need to show that, meaning when you step on the floor, there is that contact shadow. So that contact shadow is what we want to work on now. So remember, we duplicated our footage before we added in all these keyings. So when we now view it, you see our green screen is now back, because we are now working with the downer part of our duplicate we made. So from here we are going to work with to make sure and do this extract. We are going to extract the shadow from this footage. How do we do that? We are going to use our pen tool and draw a mask around it like that. So this is the background footage we had earlier, and this is the green screen we want to extract shadow from. Now, how do we extract that shadow? We are going to go to color correction, then go to hue and saturation. Then from hue and saturation, we are going to desaturate it. Then from desaturating it, then we are going to go again to color and saturation, and then add levels. We are going to make sure we clip it white. As you can see, it's now clipping white. Doesn't matter which color in the background you have, it will all just work fine. Now we have clipped it white, as you can see. Now we are going to change its mode from normal. Here we are changing its mode from normal to multiply. Now it looks a bit kind of transparent, but which is fine. So how do we make sure it matches with the flow? We come back to levels, then adjust it. Yeah, it's now kind of matching, but then it has this highlight. Now, doing away with this highlight, we come to the mask and feather the mask. Now when you feather the mask, that's what's going to happen. Now the mask is feathered, and if we turn on the other footage we had before, it just matches, but with the shadow on the floor, as you can see. Now you can see that it's really making contact with the floor. That's what we wanted. So from here, we need to add in a shadow using another third-party plugin, which is Red Giant Shadow. Let's add shadow. Drag those arrows, put it under his legs, then tails. Now the shadow is on the floor. As you can see, you match it on the floor. As you can see there. So we need to match the color of the shadow, matching with the shadow in the environment. So we get our picker here on shadow color picker, then we copy the reference from the shadow in the background. When we click, it's matching. Then we need to fade the edges a little. Fade it to 10. Now our shadow is matching. So let's see. Now it's kind of now too slow because of we are recording screen capture, then recording sound at once, so that's why the computer seems to be too slow. But our job is done. All we need to do now is to brighten up our footage a little, and make sure when you're adding bright and contrast, which is this one, you make sure the shadow is below all the effects, or else all these effects will affect also the shadow. So we don't want the shadow to be affected by any effect. So that's why we put it below all these effects. So we go to bright and contrast, and brighten up our footage to try and match the light in the background. But as you can see, now our footage is kind of bright. We can see his face clearly, but then the background seems to be softer, and as you can see, our green screen footage looks a bit sharp. We go to contrast and also reduce on the sharpness, just to make our footage match with the background, as you can see. And with just a little color grading, you can see that his color tones are matching with the wood in the background, and the white shirt, we can apply an effect that can also match up with the white in the background. Meaning, always before you shoot your green screen, you have to know the type and the color and the lighting of the background. Then when you go to shoot the green screen footage, you place the lights according to the lights in the background, and you make sure the colors in the clothes match up with the colors in the background. So our footage now looks done. So we are going to render it and see our final work. So I'm gonna pause, then we render it out. Okay, welcome back. Our footage is now already rendered, so we need to see what we did. So when you press play, you can see that our footage is matching well with the background. When you take a look at the flow, because normally if you make a mistake, that flow will tend to slide off. But then, as you can see, the feet are not slipping off from the flow, meaning we did it all fine. So there is our final composition, as you can see. Okay, thank you for watching, and it has been kind of too long, but we've managed to cover some tips, so try it. Thank you.